Hello everyone, I'm Sean.
This is Hoon.
And we are the Courageour Frights, back once again for another movie review.
Oh, yes.
As you can see, we're covering Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom over here. So,
the final movie in the DCEU.
Yes.
So,
a franchise that began soaring at the greatest of heights with Man of Steel.
Yes.
And ended 10,000 feet below the waves in a watery grave.
Yes. And the first scene of this movie says it all. Warner Bros. Logo rusting in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, the Warner Bros. Logo is at the bottom of the ocean. There's like coral growing over top of it.
Rusting. Looks like everyone just threw it in. It's like a piece of trash.
Well, that is true.
Yes.
They're self-aware.
Yeah, they're self-aware about this.
Alright, so this is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. This follows up, of course, the first Aquaman movie that came out several years ago.
Which was highly successful. I think it was like a $1.1 billion movie or something.
It was. I think it was the most successful film in the DCEU. I think the only other film that made $1 billion was Joker, and that's not a DCEU.
Yeah, that's just like its own thing.
Right. So this was the most successful film, and then it followed by this.
Yes.
Which is not that drastically worse.
No, because I think this followed like the humor, maybe the dialogue kind of.
It goes a little bit off the rails.
Yeah,
it felt like this is gonna sound terrible, but it felt like Love and Thunder at points.
Yeah, it did.
I think I leaned over and told you that.
Yeah,
this is like Aquaman, Love and Thunder. I guess maybe Ragnarok. It does have some like goofy humor.
Yeah.
It has the hallmarks of a man that knows that this is pointless.
Yeah.
They just made this movie anyway.
I'm almost 100% sure James Wan, because James Wan directed this movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at least the writers, James Wan, probably knew that it was like ending.
Over.
Yeah, so at least, because I know there was a lot of reshoots with this movie, I'm pretty sure. They kept bringing people back like all the time.
Well, I mean, there was a long... I mean, we're probably just going to go in and out of spoilers on this, but there was a long debate or story about Batman cameos in this. At one point, it was Michael Keaton. At one point, it was Ben Affleck. And then, surprise, it ended up being no one.
Yeah, no one. They took everything away.
Not even George Clooney showed up.
Yeah.
Who's now currently the DCEU Batman.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't hate this movie, though, shockingly enough.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good.
It's not good. Yeah. No, I mean, it's not great, but this, I would go so far as to say this is my second favorite superhero movie of the year. There wasn't a lot of great superhero movies.
There wasn't a lot of great. Yeah, I do agree with that. That's probably a good assessment.
There's only Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or 3, whatever it was. 3 was better than this.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, mine's like a toss-up.
Blue Beetle's close.
Yeah, mine's kind of toss-up because I did like Ant-Man as a character, but...
Yeah, but that overall...
it was...
movie, I don't know about that.
A lot of these movies kind of run together.
Yeah, that's true.
There's almost so much CGI mess you can possibly do.
They run together so much that this movie ripped off a bunch of MCU stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, it ripped off one movie that I actually like, but has been long despised by MCU fans, and that is Thor, the second Thor.
Yeah.
Or The Dark World.
Yes.
This movie is literally, like, story beat-wise, pretty much Thor, the Dark World.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, when Black Manta attacked Atlantis, I thought for sure that they were going to kill Aquaman's mom.
Yeah,
I was like, that's just gonna fit the story beat from The Dark World. And I'm not the only one that believes this. Apparently James Wan also believes this. Because there's a point in the movie, I thought I was going crazy. Yeah. But you corroborated this with me. There is a point in this movie where Aquaman turns around and he calls Orm Loki.
Yes. He does for no reason.
For no reason. Other than the fact that they're referencing that this is literally ripped off of Thor, the Dark World.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Like, did he just call him Loki?
Yes.
But yeah, that aside, I do like these characters. I like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Yeah. I understand that he's not like the comic book Aquaman.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like him. In fact, Orm looks more like
which
comic book
I think
Aquaman.
they might have done that on purpose, actually.
Probably. I do like, but I really like the Polynesian aspect to him, the Maori background. His father is Temuera Morrison, who, of course, everybody knows as Jango Fett in Star Wars, but very famous Maori actor. They have Maori stuff in the film incorporated. They have them doing like the Haka war dance. Aquaman said something in Maori at the end right before he hurls the trident through like the enemy guy. Yeah. So there's that. It also showed their dad showing the baby like taiaha techniques and stuff. So like that was cool. I like the Polynesian background because if in a real sense, if you're gonna pick any culture on Earth of real human cultures that's the most like a sea people, the Polynesians would be my pick. And these dudes like sailed across the Pacific Ocean, catamarans. Yeah. So I would say they're like the most seafaring people that ever were. So that makes sense to me. I do like the world they created with that. I also like that it's James Wan, so he created a very almost Lovecraftian world.
Yeah, especially this one, because there's definitely horror elements in this this one specifically. Actually, the last one.
The first one had a lot too, because the trench was basically the deep ones.
And then this one has like almost like a. Okay, these are like major spoilers here, but it's like almost like a necro peoples or something.
The place is like Necropolis or something.
It literally looked like Sauron or something, or from like Lord of the Rings. Or
it's some like evil guy that basically used orichalcum or something, which is like in this world, orichalcum is a energy source. Yeah, it's like an energy source that back in the olden times spewed a lot of greenhouse gases, because there's like an obvious message about like destroying the environment here. Well, yeah, of course. But that makes sense with Aquaman.
Yeah, with Aquaman.
It was a little bit confusing to me because orichalcum is used in the Gamera franchise as a metal. Yeah. And here it was like an energy gas or something.
Yeah, because they were like, they kept it, cause it's almost like radioactive material or something. They basically had it like stored in a bunch of vaults because it doesn't degrade very easily. Yeah. And it takes like many years to degrade, so, but the faction that they used orichalcum to power like everything, so.
Right. And the term goes back to, I think, Plato or somebody, whoever theorized Atlantis. Yeah. It's Plato or Socrates, I can't remember which one. But whichever one made up the theory of Atlantis in the first place, they reference orichalcum as like an energy source or a metal or some kind of unknown element that they would utilize. So that's like where that comes from. So it shows up in fantasy a lot. Yeah. So like that was kind of cool that they're drawing from real world Atlantis lore. So like that was kind of neat. I like the islands. It was like Skull Island.
Yeah, it has that. It definitely felt like King Kong was like going to show up or something.
Right, yeah.
At one point.
This world almost feels like it could fit in like the Monsterverse or something.
Yeah, because the island, because the one Manta and them are like burning the orichalcum because I guess they're trying to accelerate global warming or something.
They're trying to like melt Antarctica so they can get to Necropolis.
Yeah, so they can get to the Necropolis area, but it's basically just mutating everything around him because it's just like accelerating everything.
Right. So they probably would have created Godzilla if they kept doing it.
Just kept doing it. Yeah.
So there was like some kaiju type stuff in there, which that was true in the first film too. So I like that. I like the world building elements. Yeah. I like I said, the characters. I like Patrick Wilson as an actor, so him coming back was cool. We've been watching Insidious a lot, and of course he's like one of the main guys in that. He was the main guy in the Conjuring films. I think he directed the last Insidious movie.
Yeah, I think he's like the director.
So he's a very close friend of James Wan, so that's why he's here.
Oh yeah.
In fact, the final scene of the DCEU is Patrick Wilson. Yes. Doing unspeakable acts.
Yeah, we will get into that.
So that's like the positives. The negatives for this film is like typical superhero garbage. The plot is weak.
Dialogue.
Tell them about your favorite line.
Yeah, the favorite line is, "I'm gonna kill this dead mermaid." Yes. It's like, what?
He's gotta kill her dead.
Gotta kill her dead.
So,
And then there's another one where Or another part. No, it's like a comic book thing, but
yeah.
Echo the Dolphin shows up.
That's a plot point.
Yeah, a plot point to destroy a sonic weapon. So you got to use your own sonic weapon.
Yeah. So
against their sonic weapon by calling all the whales and dolphins and other animals, I guess.
Yeah, just get every whale in the ocean
to show up to shoot their whale song at the metal ship to blow up the reactor, I guess.
Yes.
Somehow.
And it explodes. Yeah, so that was interesting.
Yeah, that was it.
Of course, another downside for a lot of people was going to be that Mira, Amber Turd.
Oh, yeah.
Is in this film, but her role is quite small. It's not minor, though. I mean, she shows up and she
talks a little bit.
She talks a little bit. Yeah, she does talk. But the time she does show up is integral to the plot.
Yeah, and I think those are parts they couldn't take out. Because there's obvious parts where they cut. Because obviously the scene goes further.
Yeah.
But they cut it in like one specific area. And it's like every time, right when she like opens her mouth, she like opens her mouth and it just cuts. Because it's supposed to be like her with Arthur.
Right.
With like, they're supposed to be building up moments between the two characters.
Well, they knew how unlikable that actress is to the general populace, so they kind of trimmed her out.
I mean, they showed her like moving the kid's urine into his mouth that one time. We're trying to change the underpants.
That's the thing that happens.
That's an actual thing. She like the baby pees.
Yeah.
And then she deflects the pee into Jason Momoa's mouth.
Yes.
So that happened in this movie.
That does happen.
So it was like...
Which is on point with her real life behavior.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm not going to get too much into that because I still don't really know what to think about the whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp situation. From my understanding, they're both trash.
Yeah, so. It's not... It was just kind of, I think, got overblown because of like the internet.
Yeah,
but
because it was like he basically won the case, and then immediately after that, they revealed that he's also garbage or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever. They were both beating each other up or something. I don't know what was going on. So I think they're both trash. Y'all trash.
Yeah, you all trash.
So anyway, for this particular film, they did definitely cut down.
Yeah, it was very jarring at points because it's like it's obviously supposed to go further, but they cut it because of the Amber Heard thing.
But her character, like whatever, her character's kind of cool. She's like a ocean witch or something.
Yeah, because she controls water, which is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and she does show. That's why I said that she's not in the movie for a lot of screen time, but when she does show up, it's important because she saves like people's lives multiple times.
Yeah. By
just using her magic or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they probably couldn't figure out a way to make that work with the footage they filmed, so they just had to keep her in the movie.
Yeah, because it's like those ones they couldn't take out, for sure.
Well, the part they almost killed her almost seems like maybe they were planning to kill her off, and then they were like, wait, if we kill her off, we have to reshoot a bunch of other shit, so let's just leave her in. So, yeah, that's a negative, I guess, for a lot of people.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else that's pretty major.
I don't think there's any other like egregious offenses.
They killed what's his name?
Oh,
Dafoe's character off screen.
Yeah, he caught the
he got the undersea COVID. The undersea COVID, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
All them greenhouse gases.
So yeah, that's true. Willem Dafoe's character, who was like an advisor to Arthur Curry, who actually has a history of being cut because he was cut from the Justice League in the theatrical version.
Yes.
And then he finally made his on-screen appearance in Aquaman 1, and then was put back into the Justice League for the Snyder cut. But now he apparently died off camera.
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
And it's like, especially that character, because Willem Dafoe and that character was actually pretty integral anyways, because it's like a mentor figure to Arthur.
Yeah, I was surprised Dolph Lundgren was in this so much.
Yeah, I was surprised to that.
Because I feel like he was in this more than he was in the first one.
I think he was.
So maybe they compensated by having Dolph in there more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a negative, I guess.
I think overall, I think that might have been like it, but they're not really a major anyways. So
no, the CG in this isn't horrible.
Yeah.
It's not Flash level.
Yeah.
They did actually make competent effects here.
Yeah, it was... There was certain points that doesn't look that good, but...
That's kind of...
But I think that's like any of those movies are. Like
yeah, any of these movies. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing really that stands out to me that made this worse than any of the other superhero films that came out this year.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's pretty average, pretty mid, I guess.
Yeah, it's average. Like I said, it's my second favorite superhero movie of the year, but that's not like me giving it a glowing endorsement.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The other ones were really bad, so take that however you want. So anyway, I think that's kind of what we got to say about Aquaman.
Yes.
I would say check this out if it's like if your theater has a bargain deal like day or something.
Yeah, I forget like a. Cause I know in our theater we have like a matinee day on Mondays that are like cheap.
Yeah.
So that's probably what you wanted to go to see this movie.
Yeah, I would recommend checking it out if it's on discount or something.
I think I know
wait for the Max debut.
Yeah, because I think the way HBO Max has been doing it lately is like it's a 39-day turnaround. So it's like the movie comes out and then 39 days later it comes out on Max, which
the end of January probably.
Yeah, which I always think is not a good idea because they're trying to have a movie that's supposed to be in a theater.
Yeah,
people can wait 39 days, especially if you have like those good Black Friday deals. It's like $2 for Max for like a year or something. It's like insane.
Yeah, that's what I got right now.
Yeah,
because I've got Max for like the next 6 months, and I'm paying like $2 or $3 a month.
Yeah,
it's like stupid.
It's like
you're not making any money. That must be why they have the ads or something.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Because they have to be making their money back from ads because they're not making it from subscriptions. That's for sure. All right, so I think that's it for Aquaman. I guess this is the swan song of the DCEU.
Yeah, and I guess since this is the last one, I guess we could probably talk a little bit about the whole DCEU in entirety. I guess you can say.
Yeah, so the DCEU began with Man of Steel.
Yeah.
In I think 2013, so it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Man of Steel is still one of my favorite superhero films of all time.
Yeah, that's probably the strongest one out of all of them.
I know it's controversial, especially for actual Superman fans, but I just really like that movie.
Yeah.
Batman vs. Superman was very controversial when it came out.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, I think it's one of the better ones still. Which isn't not necessarily saying
I think the problem with that one is they rushed into that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They were like... They started with Superman.
Yeah.
Was that the first one Batman really showed up in?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It introduces Batman and Wonder Woman.
And Wonder Woman, both at the same time.
And Wonder Woman's theme song, which is its own character.
Because that one came out, and then Wonder Woman came out after that, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the exact order was, but Wonder Woman definitely came out after. There may have been something before Wonder Woman.
And I think that's what the one problem is. They just kind of rushed into it. Because that's when Doomsday came out.
Yeah.
And that's when Superman died.
They just threw, they just went from the beginning of Superman to, the end of Superman. They skipped 60 years of comics in, a minute.
Without actually doing the build-up, which was required.
Right.
To even get to that point. It's like, Superman hasn't earned his death yet. He literally came out and just died.
And every once in a while, they threatened to make a Man of Steel 2, and then they just never did.
Yeah.
Which, I guess, all versions of the storyline would have had Superman fighting Brainiac, which is something you wanted for a long time.
Yeah, I want Brainiac to show up at least once.
So, now back to James Gunn, we're back to Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor again. Lex Luthor again.
That's never been seen before.
But yeah, I think that's one of the I guess you could say one thing about the DCU is there's been a lot of missteps throughout. This whole series of movies, I guess.
Gather together all the post-credit scenes and tell me how many actually went somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
Almost none of them amounted to anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely a problem.
Yeah, you had Justice League coming out.
Yeah.
And this is when Zack Snyder actually he basically quits making movies because he wanted to be with his family, which is understandable because during that time was when wasn't his daughter or something passed away.
Yeah.
And then he got fired for that.
Warner Brothers was so understanding.
Yeah, they fired him.
And then they brought in Joss Whedon to fix it because he did the Avengers movie.
Yeah. And
but he ruined everything.
Because he hated like half of it. That was like a major reshoot.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that was like the basic DCEU was known for was reshoots.
And then it's known for having like this insanely toxic fan base.
Yeah,
because the Snyder Bros.
Yeah, Snyder Bros was another thing that came out.
Which complained until they got their way finally.
And then it was actually true.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, the Josh Whedon cut was 10 times more different than
terrible.
The actual cut of the movie.
The actual Snyder cut of the Justice League, we both actually enjoyed quite a bit. It's long-winded for sure.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, you can cut like 30 minutes out of it and it'd be fine. But it was much better than
it was much better. It was a much better movie. They didn't screw over Cyborg.
No, he's like the centerpiece of the whole thing.
Yeah, he was like literally the main character. They cut all that out. And I know I think that's when along the time when that allegations and stuff, and like, he was like suing like Hamada and
Hamada was caught in the crossfire. I mean, like everything was going on.
Yeah, it literally was like another misstep and another like.
And Whedon did that. He was like, Ray Fisher accused Whedon of stuff. Gal Gadot came out and said that Whedon basically threatened her career.
Yeah, he was like.
It's like
it's really strange.
It's just insane. There was weird shit going on all over the place. And then, Wonder Woman happens, which is also one of my favorites.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was good.
The first Wonder Woman's fantastic. The second one is trash.
Bad.
Second Wonder Woman is horrible.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It was just bad.
I was expecting this Aquaman movie to be that bad, but it wasn't. It wasn't anywhere near.
It was more like the first movie.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. The first Aquaman's just dumb fun.
Yeah.
So, like, this is just dumber fun.
Yeah.
And then
we had Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the first one. That was another one that had problem with reshoots again.
Yeah, that has a million reshoots. Yeah.
Like, it was like cut. Like, the first 20 minutes of that movie was like a trailer for the character. It was really weird.
Oh yeah, it's very weirdly edited.
Yeah.
It's like a weird music video because they were trying to rip off Guardians of the Galaxy that came out by that
same time.
Which ironically, James Gunn comes in and makes the second Suicide Squad movie.
Which he wanted to do because it's like B-list characters, all of them.
Right. Which apparently his Superman movie's going to be because he released a cast list for that and there's like 20 superheroes in the Superman movie.
Oh, jeez.
So... Yeah, James Gunn got fired for crude tweets he made 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And then he got picked up by Warner Brothers. The one smart thing Warner Brothers did possibly the entire time was grab James Gunn the second he was available.
Yeah, that was like, especially he has like an encyclopedic knowledge of like superheroes.
Yeah, and then he got picked up by Disney again, proceeded to make the only financially successful superhero movie of the year. Yeah. And then went back over to run DC Studios now.
Which kind of makes sense for him, which I think we were talking about this before, but it's almost like before James Gunn got fired from Disney, he was almost like the person that was going to probably be like the main person for Marvel.
I think he was being set up to be like the guy, at least the guy overseeing the cosmic side of the MCU. And then he left, and then the cosmic side of the MCU just turned into Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, which... I know the last movie, the Marvels, I know didn't do too well, but...
I think that was the worst received Marvel film. I haven't seen it.
And the Eternals.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see either, but I knew that was really bad. I guess people said it was really bad, that is. And then what else happened during the DCEU span? I guess...
Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam, which that one was more like a normal movie. The first one was like, people like quite a bit. It did a lot better than people thought it was.
Yeah, I don't hate either one.
Yeah, I don't hate either one either.
The second one came out this year. We did a review of that. We actually liked that one quite a bit.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't fantastic, but it was fine.
Yeah, like I said, it was fine.
We probably gave it like a 6 or something. Like, it was back to when we gave ratings.
Yeah.
We don't really do ratings anymore because we were just basically like throwing numbers around.
Yeah, just arbitrary numbers.
Just pull a number out of your ass and be like, it's a 6 out of 10.
And then we had I guess the Cabo incidents was another one.
Yeah,
that was pretty ridiculous for Warner Brothers.
Which sets up Black Adam. In our discussion,
it set up Black Adam, which that was kind of like the final nail in the coffin.
Black Adam's what killed the whole thing.
Yeah,
because that was like the other bizarre thing. Was when Dwayne Johnson decided to try to take over the DCEU.
He wanted to be the hierarchy of power.
Yeah, it's about to change forever. It's true.
Which was a bad thing because Black Adam is the main bad guy for Shazam. And he didn't want anything to do with Shazam, which is like doesn't make any sense.
Nothing in the DCEU makes any kind
What's that guy's like? What's his name? Levy or something?
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, Zachary Levi. He's not a bad actor or anything like that, so.
Yeah. Oh, he's got his share of problems.
Yeah.
Social media and stuff. He's said some dumb stuff in the past.
Yeah.
But, so he has another group of people that hate him.
So basically, it was like one of those things where Dwayne Johnson just called Cavill to come back.
Yeah.
And say that you will be in like the next movies.
He just used Cavill as a pawn, basically.
To have people come to the movie theater to watch Black Adam.
To bait people to go into the theater to watch Black Adam, but the general audiences don't stick around for the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
So why would they care?
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you been in the theater and everybody just leaves the second the credits roll?
Yeah. What's happened today?
Yeah, it's like, there's going to be something. There always is a post-credit scene.
Especially these superhero movies.
Well, yeah. It's like everybody just leaves the second the credits
roll. And actually, another thing that kind of... I guess we'll get to that after this part here, but yeah, and this is like basically I think that kind of went behind. Did that go behind like Hamada's back or something?
It was real weird.
Yeah, because they like almost like fired Cavill like right after.
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be a book written about all the weird stuff that happened for the DCEU. It's like a train wreck.
Yeah, because another thing that happened before that was the 2-hour limits for movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember that? That was like the DCEU had like they were like one of their thing was they had to be under 2 hours.
But Marvel also did that.
Yeah, Marvel did it right after.
With Thor: Love and Thunder, that it has to be under 2 hours.
And it's like, I don't understand why they did that. Is it because of Justice League? Or I don't know.
The idea is so you can sell more tickets.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. In a day, but it's like, sometimes you can't trim the movie down to that level. You lose like half the story.
Especially when you have like a superhero movie, you're trying to explain a character's origin. And explain a story and why he's bad.
Yeah. And
do a full movie all at once. Or then you get a rushed mess, which I think that's actually a Suicide Squad thing. That first one was a rushed mess because they had to get 6 characters all together, talk about their backstory, and talk about the villain, and resolve a problem.
Yeah.
With like a threat that would affect 6 characters.
Right.
In under 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like...
I guess... If we're going to talk about Suicide Squad, I guess we can talk a little bit about possibly the only thing that's surviving the transition, which was the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's version.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad.
I feel was way better than the first one.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Which I think most people agree with.
Yeah.
So, it didn't do well because it came out during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I think it did really well on Max, though.
So. Yeah, because I think people waited for Max. So that was a time when, I guess it's another... DCEU thing was the time when Max was coming out.
Max is part of the whole DC debacle.
And that's the reason why they had such bad issues, because they kept saying you can wait 30 days before the movie comes out, or you can watch on a Max, like after 30 days after the theatrical run.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the causes of like the way the theaters are now, I guess.
Didn't the Suicide Squad have opening day? I think back then it came out the same day.
Oh yeah, I guess it was the same day thing too, wasn't it?
Because I didn't watch
that was the same day.
Because Wonder Woman 84 was that way too. I didn't watch them in theaters. I was in Japan.
Yeah, we watched it on Max.
Yeah, we watched it in I was living in Japan and you were here.
Yeah, we watched it.
And then we would watch it like on Discord or whatever.
Then we had disappointment and
and then we ranted like Wonder Woman 84. We made like an hour and a half long rant.
Yeah.
About it. So. Anyway, DC's been a wild ride.
Yeah, DCEU has just been... I guess that chapter's finally closed.
Yes. And it closed with Patrick Wilson eating a cockroach.
The last scene in DCEU is Patrick Wilson eating a hamburger, grabbing a cockroach off a table, putting it in his hamburger, and eating it.
Cockroach sandwiches.
And he was smiling. Like, this is good. It's like, oh, gosh. It's like, that is the last scene.
A metaphor.
Yeah.
They talk about metaphors in this movie a lot.
Yeah.
The cockroach sandwich is a metaphor for audiences.
Yes.
Consuming DCEU content.
Yeah, exactly. They have hidden
You have this delicious burger that has all the right components of a great superhero film, and then there's just a cockroach just shoved in the
middle somewhere.
And it's Walter Amada.
Yeah,
or it's one of the other people.
Or studio involvement, or reshoot. Or cutting things out of the movie.
There it is. There it is.
That's the poetry. It rhymes.
It rhymes. So I think that's about. We're gonna end our discussion about the DCEU with that.
I guess we'll have to wait until the new James Gunn
in 2025.
When people forgot all about superheroes in 2 years.
Yeah, probably. If superheroes are even a thing in 2 years.
So,
all right. So until then, if you like this video, leave that like. Consider subscribing for more, and you too can feel the strong swelling within. See ya.